voting for Trump. So what somebody's going to do about it?
I don't think anybody, I mean, I'm going to disagree with you.
So what? What are you going to do?
2 tackles and picks up the first down.
No, I got to try that shit.
All right, you go ahead. So you're going to turn around, hit him, spin around, and then... Oh! What? So...
That's right now.
All right, so wait, so he bopped one.
So I mean what I say when I share with you that I know that President Trump understands the grave responsibility that a president and commander-in-chief bears for every single one of our lives. Whether you're a soldier, you're an airman, a Marine, sailor, or a coastie, he keeps us in his heart in the decisions that he makes. The truth is, as we head towards our decision as a country in November, the same cannot be said about Kamala Harris. In fact, the opposite is true, and we're living through this reality today as this administration has us facing multiple wars on multiple fronts and regions around the world, and closer to the brink of nuclear war than we ever have been before. This is one of the main reasons why I'm committed to doing all that I can to send President Trump back to the White House where he can once again serve us as our commander-in-chief.
I haven't heard this song in a while. Rock-a-bye, baby, don't you cry. Alpha 3 just got done voting. Yes, and of course, Alpha 3 did vote for Donald J. Trump via Tulsi Gabbard. And obviously, anytime I do anything, there has to be a reason behind it. And the reason is to annoy my 2 Puerto Rican sisters down in Florida. So if you don't know the story, my younger sister posted something on Facebook about how she just got done canceling out my vote. And then I went and told her I'm not voting. But of course I'll vote. I didn't spend 12 and a half years fighting for the right to vote and then not vote, right? So of course I'm going to vote. But I told her I wasn't voting, so she's like, good. But then I went on this rant about how I was going to monitor the polls and kick out anybody that looked like a liberal, anybody that drives a Tesla truck, any male that has Rainbow Bright or My Little Pony shirts on, anybody with purple hair, blue hair, right? And then I was going to give double ballots to individuals that wore the Confederate flag, blah, 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 right? So that if you want to know that stupid joke, go to one of my other videos. But anyway, of course I'm going to vote. Of course I am. I had her thinking for a little bit that I wasn't going to vote. But the funny thing is, like, this whole thing with the Puerto Rican joke, because it's typical liberal move to try to change something, a comedian's joke into something it's not and attach it to a presidential candidate, right? So it's a total liberal move to have this fake outrage because a comedian said that Puerto Rico was a floating garbage without doing proper research, only to find out that yes, Puerto Rico does have a huge trash problem over there, right? So they try to blame Trump. They try to blame Trump for that, right? When of course the Democrats have been in charge of that fucking island for the last 300 years, and the last 4 years Biden's done nothing but shut down the landfills over there, causing a lot of the problems. So anyway, you got to do your proper research. You got to do your proper research before you get your emotions involved. Which leads me to Barkley, Saquon Barkley, right? What a game this man has. What a season this man has had. He's definitely the MVP in my opinion. Not just because I'm a homer and I bleed green, but if you're actually watching the games, he is the MVP of the league. And I say that for a few reasons. Number one, because he has earned it. But number two, had we had a half decent coach, if we didn't have the worst team in the league, the worst coach in the league, all right, this team would be putting up 50 burgers every game. But of course, we have that Goomba, Nicky Sirianni, who's makes some of the worst decisions that you can make, right? Like a coach the players ultimately decide if they're going to win the game or not, but the coaches have to do their best to try to help their players. And I know it's a cliche, but they have to put them in the best position to win the game. And this guy, he's the polar opposite. He puts the team in the worst positions, and despite his dumbass decision making, the Eagles still win, right? This guy's the worst. So anyway, Saquon is the MVP in my opinion, and he's just doing backward hurdles over defenders, literally. And it's just too funny that East Rutherford has to eat it, right? Like, they have to eat that. And because these people have egos and they can't put their egos aside, and because people in general can't admit that they're wrong, fix it and move on, the East Rutherford Giants will suffer for another couple of years because of it, right? I told you, East Rutherford Giants fans, you have to maintain a good balance in your energies. You have to pull yourself away from the situation. You have to be emotionless. You have to be able to evaluate what is happening. All right, you need an offensive line, number one, right? That's the first thing you need. You need hogs on the front line. If you don't have hogs on the front line, you're not going to win games. You're just not. You're just not. You're just not. But you got to get rid of this GM. I don't know if he's still on the team or not because I don't follow the Giants like that, but you got to get rid of your GM. He has to be disciplined for what he did to Saquon, right? He has to be disciplined, right? But, of course, the owner has an ego. Everybody has egos, and so that's why you'll always remain the shit team in the fucking division. But that's the problem we're having with Nick Sirianni, is that he has an ego. So he compiles mistakes after mistakes after mistakes because he'll make one mistake because it was a dumb decision. And to try to make up for it, he'll make another dumb decision instead of just moving on, just recognizing it and moving on. So it's really just ego. But Saquon, this dude is amazing. Had he had an average offensive line, this guy would have probably another twice as many stats as he does now. But I would just ask as a favor to the East Rutherford Giants that you just keep Neighbors, keep him safe, keep him injury free, so that in a couple years when he becomes a free agent, we can take him like we did Saquon and the rest of the. Because what happens is the Giants, they have been drafting great players because they're a shit team and they get high draft picks. So they've been drafting great players. They just don't stay long because they don't know. They're not drafting great players in the right position. So there are great players just leave. They're just sick of losing. They're sick of the losing culture. So just keep them safe. All right, keep them healthy, so that in like 2 or 3 years, when like AJ Brown moves on, all right, we can just take him from you. All right. So anyway, that's pretty funny. Well, hold on, I'm gonna pause this. All right, 3 is back. 3 is back. It was Davey Bowie. Let's get a good song in the background here, Free Falling. But what was I saying? Oh, keep them safe, Neighbors safe. But the last game was a highlight reel. You had everybody making clown circus catches and runs and stuff like that. And then we had Nick Sirianni take the spotlight away because he's a dumbass. But we need to trade his ass. If there's a way we could trade him, maybe we could trade him now, because people in the league, they don't give a shit about the really Eagles, except for the Eagle Nation. So they're not really paying attention. They don't understand that Nick Sirianni is a hindrance to this team, but we can trade him. If we can get a good second-round pick for him or first-round pick, 2 second-round picks for him, let's trade his ass off to a dumbass organization like the East Rutherford Giants. They could use him. Anyway, I'm heading to the gym. I did vote red, but don't be surprised if you've lasted this long to the video. Don't be surprised if there's shenanigans going on. Because this whole thing is a movie. Like, it doesn't matter, but this whole thing's a movie. But don't be surprised that there's shenanigans, because there's been shenanigans planned for a while now. So don't be surprised about delays, about voting machines not working properly, voting machines not allowing anybody to vote for Trump, stuff like that. So, and then the ultimate steal, because Kamala Harris has been put to sleep a long time ago. But anyway, enjoy your day. Happy election day. Alpha 3's out. Send it.